So finally things have picked up for Wuthering Waves and the version 1.4 advertisement, and actually it's going crazy. I didn't really expect Wuthering Waves to actually be going this hard whenever it comes to advertisement and just bringing out new stuff to do with the updates coming up, but we've actually gotten a new post the day after we've gotten a lot of these initial teasers. Now obviously if you saw my last video, we talked about the teasers and the trailers that Wuthering Waves released. Obviously we had this image here, which kind of gave us a little look at some of the characters that are coming out and maybe featured in the story, which is just great. And we also got this weird trailer, which was very interesting and kind of showed us that we're gonna have a lot of stuff to do with Camellya. But just today, about 7 hours ago, while I was asleep, Wuthering Waves actually released a developer's message, which is their volume 6 of their developer's messages. So again, it kind of proves how much they've been listening, because they've got more volumes of developers' messages than they do actual updates, so it means they're, releasing quite a few. And what they say is, "Dear Rovers, thank you for your continued support for Wuthering Waves with version 1.4. With version 1.4, when the night knocks just around the corner, it's time for another installment of Wuthering Waves developer's message. In this update, we're adding new gameplay elements and exciting new features and optimizations to enhance your gameplay experience. Click the link for more information." So obviously this is something that we usually get. Now I wasn't expecting it to be so soon. Again, I think Wuthering Waves do pace a lot of the advertisements, but this was literally, the day after some of that initial kind of stuff for 1.4, so it's very exciting to see that they're getting right on this. And pretty much in this video, we're going to be going through all of the developers' messages, keeping you up to date with everything you need to know about what's coming to 1.4 and everything else in between. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy it, and also go to Gamersarts and use my code CASA where you can get yourself 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. I definitely recommend you guys go over there, check them out, because they got a ton of really cool events on at the moment, which I definitely recommend you go and get yourself, because again, you get 10% off just by using my code. And there'll also be a link down in the description if you guys want to use that as well. But let's get back into the video. So again, I was not expecting this at all. I am a little bit ill at the moment, by the way, so I'm sorry if I do sound a little bit off. Again, I will be a little bit slow on streams this week, so yeah, if you guys can just bear with me, I'm trying to make as much content as possible, and it kind of sucks that it's kind of aligned with all of this new news. But again, so we got this page from Wuthering Waves, and it says Wuthering Waves developers message, and they pretty much repeat what they said in their tweet there. And then we get onto the first kind of update that is coming to the game, which has got a lot of people excited, is the new gameplay elements, with the first one being the new combat mechanism Dreamlink. Dreamlink is a new combat mechanism that will be introduced in the main event of version 1.4. Dreamlink enhances the synergy between your resonators, allowing them to unlock their true potential together. When certain conditions align during combat, Dreamlink will activate, dramatically amplifying your team's combat prowess. So again, that looks really great. As I said, it's going to be featured in an event, so I'm very interested to see, what event that's going to be featured in. But it has a kind of very Persona-y feel to it. If you have never seen Persona, you've got all these characters come up on like a 3x3 screen. They show like a little GIF there, which I think is absolutely amazing. We haven't seen anything like that in a gacha game, at least as far as I know. And it is really cool to see them taking inspiration from a lot of other games that aren't just gacha games. And I think that, having your characters there in a kind of 3x3 frame, making those faces, it just looks very cool. And obviously it really helps whenever you have a ton of, extra combat buffs and stuff like that. And then we go on to the next one being Overdrive Combat Elusive Sprint. This is in the main event of version 1.4, you can actually pick up White Cat's blessings to enter the elusive sprint state. That increases your movement speed. Lumi, a resonator who will make her debut in the new version, has a similar ability. When certain requirements are met, instead of dodging, Lumi dashes to get out of harm's way and is capable of attacking enemies while moving at high speed. Again, that looks really great. And I don't really know if they're saying that Lumi is actually going to be coming out on the first version. I don't see that's going to be very likely, seeing as what they did with Yohu, but it would be very cool if we did see it come out at the same time as Camellya. We don't really know, but again, that is cool, and I do really like a lot of these sprinting kind of mechanics. Obviously, it is kind of hard to move around the world, but again, they say in the main event of version 1.4, so I think it is to do with an event rather than actually kind of like in the main world. But we'll have to wait and see what kind of happens with that, if they can kind of further clarify on that. And they also gave us a little look at some of Lumi's gameplay as well, which I think is great. It gives us a little bit of a teaser. Again, I think her character design looks absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to pull on the Camellya banner, because not just for Camellya, but for her as well, if she is on it. Obviously, if she's on a different banner, then I might try to get her as well. But some very cool mechanics that they've added to the game, and they are very unique. And they say these two gameplay mechanisms will be available in the main event of version 1.4. Once the main event concludes, it will be added as a permanent event where the same gameplay mechanisms will still be available. So that's really cool. It means we're going to be getting a permanent event coming to Wuthering Waves, as we've seen with like Honkai Star and stuff like that. They do tend to keep a lot of their, events and stuff like that for a longer period of time, because again, people want to play it and they want to play it over time, which I think is a very good update, and it gives more people to do if they don't have so much to do in the rest of the world of Wuthering Waves. So really cool. Definitely a very good idea there, especially with a lot of the new kind of features as well. Then we go into a new feature which has kind of got me very excited. If you've seen a lot of my videos, I've talked a lot about skins coming to Wuthering Waves, and they say weapon cosmetics, weapon projection. With version 1.4, we're introducing an exciting new customization feature, weapon projections. This feature lets you transform the appearance of your weapons without affecting their stats, allowing you to create a look that's entirely your own. Participate in the main event of version 1.4 to obtain a free weapon projection associated with the event featured 4-star weapon. Additionally, we're adding transparent weapon sword projections available for all 5 weapon types. You can use a transparent weapon projection to turn the equipped weapon completely or partially invisible. We hope these new options let you add even more personality to your Resonator's looks, whether you're exploring or capturing moments in photo. Participate in version 1.4's Depths of Elusive's realm to obtain a complete set of transparent weapon projections for free. Equip a transparent weapon projection to make rectifiers and gauntlets completely invisible, or turn swords, broad blades, or pistols partially transparent, which again I think is great. I think it's going to help a lot of people whenever it comes to taking photos and stuff like that in the game. I think that's going to be a very cool feature, and you can get it very easily for free. I've been waiting forever for skins to come out, and I think adding skins to weapons is really cool. I didn't really expect them to do it because, you know, the weapons look so good already, but I hope that this is a kind of like step forward and that we do see skins coming out for the characters, because that is one of the main things I want. I really want character skins. I don't care about weapon skins too much, but it is a really cool feature, and it does prove that Kura Games are thinking about adding some kind of skins to characters and to elements of the game, and this is just the start. So maybe in version 2.0 we might see this grow even bigger with the addition of character skins. Then we go into a very important thing, which obviously is gameplay experience optimizations, which leveling related optimizations, double rewards, step-by-step echo upgrades. They say to enhance your long-term gaming experience, version 1.4 will introduce a series of leveling related optimizations as part of an ongoing project. In this update, you'll be able to fast travel directly to the locations of any tacit suppression or boss challenge via the map. Additionally, you'll have the option to spend double wave plates to earn double rewards upon completing a forgery, simulation, or tacit suppression challenge. We've also improved the display of the results screen, giving you a clearer view of what you've earned, which again, I think that's great. It means that you can actually get through a lot of this stuff quicker. It means that you don't have to constantly do the same thing over and over again, and it just means you get double rewards for just completing one task, rather than just like spending endless amounts of time. It's a little bit similar to stuff that they got in like Azure Lane, where you can actually get double rewards for just doing some quests and things. So again, a very cool update, especially, you know, in terms of quality of life. And they say last but not least, in version 1.4 you can conveniently upgrade an echo to the exact levels that unlock new substats 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 through the auto select setting. We hope this can improve your echo upgrade experience and efficiency, which yeah, I think that's great. Honestly, you know, some people were struggling with that. I didn't really have much of an issue with it, but again, I think that's great that you can put it up to certain caps and stuff like that. It definitely helps a lot of people out. And then finally they go to interference related optimizations, waveplate info pop-up, echo info pop-up, and tower diversity interface adjustments. So they start off with this one of the wave plates actually being available on your screen here, which I think is good. It means you don't have to keep constantly going back to the map, which is something that I usually get annoyed by, not just in Wuthering Waves, but also in games like Genshin. So that is really good to see. They say the displayed information for a newly absorbed echo will also be optimized. Upon absorption, the Echo Sonata effect category will be displayed alongside with its main stat and substat, which again I think is good, because then you can tell if you've gotten a good echo or not. You'd have to go into the actual stats and stuff like that and trying to find out if you got a good echo. And finally they say in the current version, adjusting your team lineup in the tower diversity requires leaving and re-entering, which we know can interrupt your gameplay experience. To improve this, we've optimized the interface in the upcoming versions, allowing you to view and adjust your team directly within the tower. Apart from the above, more optimizations are in the pipeline, along with more gameplay elements and features. Please stay tuned. Which again, I think is absolutely amazing. Obviously, you know, there's a ton of really exciting updates. I think the weapon skin update is very exciting. And as I said, they've got a ton more changes in the pipeline. So maybe full-on character skins are, you know, included in that pipeline, and hopefully we will see that. But apart from that, all of the updates that they've added have been very, you know, great, and they've, you know, kind of improved a lot of what Wuthering Waves is doing. And I definitely think they do have a very big focus on a lot of quality of life updates, which I think is just great for Wuthering Waves, you know, overall. I know I say that a lot, but again, it is. Yeah, that's about it for the developer's message. That is pretty much everything you need to know about what's going on. I tried to like simplify a lot of the stuff that they were saying. Again, I think it is really great that they've got all these mechanics coming to the game that I have to actually explain every single one. But yeah, hopefully, you know, they do cook even more. And let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that this is a very good update? Or do you think that, you know, it could be improved on a little bit more? Honestly, I think they've done great here, and I think it's going to constantly improve, especially with some of the bigger updates like version 2.0. Again, sorry if I sound ill. I will, you know, get better in a couple of days' time. But again, if Wuthering Waves keep uploading stuff like this, then, you know, I've kind of got to make a video on it. And yeah, I just really wanted to share this with you guys. But that's spoiling up for this video. If you did enjoy it, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And as I said, go over to GamerStarts, use my code KAZO and get yourself 10% off a ton of cups and tubs. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.